Let me think. What would I do if I found out my wife was on a dating app? Um, I guess it go without saying. I guess it goes without saying that's something that we need to probably discuss because it's two things. That means either you looking for something else outside the marriage, or that's just in your blood to just want to be flirtatious. Because listen, not everybody on a dating app that is looking to leave their spouse or significant other. Some people are on a dating app because they're looking for maybe some companionship or something like that. But either way, that's some slick shit right there.
Welcome to the pressure cooker.
What if you was on a dating app and you was a single lady and you seen one of your friends' husband on a dating app? What would you do?
Nothing. It's not my business.
You don't think as a friend you would be compelled to say
No,
something to her?
no, that's not my business. And I don't
Okay.
know when, like, you don't know when that person joined. Why would I take my time to go out and find out when they joined? They could have been on a date now before they got married or whatever the
That's true.
situation may be. So, no, it's not my business. So, I will mind my business.
Yeah, I think you have to be careful with that kind of stuff because it is the internet. Um that person could have had a profile up for a long time, and like you say, it just that's not active. It's not real active right now. But also people are people are kind of shady, man, these days.
And there's too many
You know,
opportunities for other
it's
people to take in your information, your pictures, and make a phony profile to cause disturbance in your marriage. So I would not open my mouth
yeah,
if I saw
yeah.
that.
Well, no, I didn't even think about it like that, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, people are shit, man. They doing all kind of
Ex-wife or
crazy. Yeah,
ex-lover or ex-girlfriend,
yeah.
somebody married. So I mean, what's the big deal? You were on the dating app, and even if you currently are on the dating app while you're married to the person, you know, cheating is cheating, and that may be their form of way of connecting with somebody to cheat. So that would be something that the wife would have to find out on her own, because everything that's done in the dark will come to light. So eventually, she'll discover he was cheating. But me personally, I wouldn't get into
Mm.
their business.
Well, would you consider that cheating if they're on a dating app?
It
Because
depends on
I mean, you
it.
know, they.
It depends on the use of the dating
Uh,
app. If you're clicking and making connections and having conversation with other people, yes, you are
mhm.
actively cheating. You are a married person that's interacting with a person who assumes you're available. So not only are you a cheater, you're a liar too, because the
Mhm.
women who are clicking to and show interest in you think that you're available to them when actually you're not.
Exactly. It's just, and I think a lot of people, some people don't never stop. They just don't never stop doing what they're doing online whenever they get with somebody, and it takes a lot of discipline to say, you know what, I'm finna shut everything down, all the relationships that I've made. I'm just finna do away with that kind of stuff and just focus on the person I'm with. And a lot of people say, well, what if this don't work? And I done just shut down everything with all my friends. I had potential relationships that was going on that I could have had, and I chose to go in a different direction. And now that person, I might not be able to reconnect with that person. So a lot of people stay in contact like that.
Mhm.
A lot of people feel like that's it's almost like you got 1 feet outside the paint and 1 feet in the paint.
Maybe so. You know, the logic of that would make a whole lot of sense if you decided to get married, because a dating site is public.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were trying to have something sneaky or private or underhanded, that's a hell of a way to go about it,
Mm-hmm.
because you just made yourself public. You just blast yourself, especially if you're using your picture and your information. Even if you're using fake information in your picture or no picture at all, um, that's still a public site, and eventually you'll get caught. I think that'll put you in a way of getting caught quicker than anything else, is to be on a dating site.
Oh yeah. I mean, for the most part, man,
So now you're a liar, cheater, and you're stupid.
yeah, exactly. You just don't need to be me myself, I'm not gonna even be going look for no stuff like that, be honest with you. But if it was put right in my face, then I have no choice but to make a decision.
Hmm.
And but you find a lot of people, man, they be online looking and searching and going through everything, man, and it's just, you know and people say, well, that's insecure or whatever. It's just a habit of theirs. That's
Hmm.
just something they're gonna do.
Hmm.
They're gonna be strolling, looking for something, trying to find something in the marriage or in a relationship, because a lot of time it's projection. I
Hmm.
really think it's projection.
Hmm.
I think that that's the kind of life that they live, where they've been conniving, sneaking, and all that stuff, and now they finally got somebody, or they ain't even got nobody. They can still be doing the same thing. They just don't want it done to them.
Hmm.
So that's what I think. A lot of time it is.
I like a discipline. You know, they all want. It's just a lack of discipline. A lot of time, people want somebody to be faithful to them and be right there for them, but then they're steady looking for something else. You know the old saying, "The grass is green on the other side." That's what they think.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've seen it happen a lot. Um, and it's just not that too, man. It don't matter, man. A lot of time people don't never stop being single. They don't never stop being single. They think that this is some kind of uh game, I guess. I mean, I guess that's how they play the game.
Yeah, lack of self discipline. You don't know how to discipline yourself to be with one person, to love one person, to go through whatever you have to go through with one person. So
Mhm.
when you haven't did the work on yourself, then how can you love somebody else? How can you even show loyalty or being faithful to somebody else when you yourself has not been disciplined to do it? It's a lack of discipline.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
Hmm.
It's definitely a lack of discipline. Um,
You got to do the work to be disciplined.
some people ain't never been disciplined their whole life. They ain't
Right.
disciplined at nothing.
Right. That's
You ain't
exactly. It
disciplined
take
at
work.
nothing.
Hmm.
Not your finances,
Not
not a
anything.
relationship, not
Nothing.
nothing.
That's
You
right.
can't be disciplined. It's
Right.
all about how you feel. And the one thing
What you
about
want.
discipline,
All about you. Selfishness.
exactly. The one thing about discipline is this: you have to do the thing that you know that you have to do, that's conducive to your life, when you don't want to do it.
Hmm.
That's discipline.
Hmm.
Anybody can do anything when they want to do, when they feel like it. When you feel like you want to, eat healthy, then you can do it. It's the
Hmm.
time where you don't feel like eating healthy.
Hmm.
You don't feel like working out. You don't feel like saving your money. It's those times, man.
And that's where you got to pull from that old integrity thing, you know, to stand on what you're about. So a lot of people, I think discipline and integrity has to work hand in hand so that you can do the right thing. Because it's easy to do the right thing when everybody's watching you, but can you do the right thing when nobody's watching
Exactly. It's that's the key. That's when ain't nobody watching, what your ass doing.
you? Hmm.
When ain't nobody watching, what are you doing?
If I could get away with it and
And
nobody knows.
that's it. At least you think nobody know. But see,
Hmm.
that's why I live off the golden rule of karma. You have to, at some point you have to know that kind of stuff gonna come back to get you one way or another. It's gonna bite you in the ass. It
Hmm.
just is. And some people don't. They don't think like that. They don't believe it's possible that something like that can happen.
Hmm.
But whatever you put out there, and that's just wisdom, man. That's just the game of life.
Hmm.
That's just the game of life, and how the game of life is played is whatever you do, it's going to come, whether good or bad. Life does not care. Life don't really know good or bad. That's a
Hmm.
conscious thing. Only thing it's don't gonna do is just return what you put out there.
Hmm.
That's all. It's just gonna return what you put out there. And a lot of time people are not ready for the consequences, or they don't want to face the consequences when it's out there and when it come back to them.
Kevin and Caprice. Let's talk relationship.